invested significant amount of money in your manufacturing business. Machines, people, inventory, factory space, technology, and all other resources needed to keep that factory running. Those resources cost you money every single day, regardless of what you manufacture. So the most important question is here, how effectively, efficiently, and quickly are you converting that investment into profit-making products and into cash generation? Because you can have the machine running, people working overtime, orders are going out of the door, and still be losing margins without clearly seeing where it is going. In my experience, there are 4 areas that have the biggest impact on manufacturing profit margins. These are product costing, production efficiencies, production planning, and pricing. Get those 4 right, and everything else becomes easier. Product costing, this is where everything starts here. How much does it actually cost you to manufacture one unit? Because if your costing foundation is wrong, every commercial decision you make can be wrong too. Every product needs a costing structure that reflects the actual production journey that it goes through in your factory. Because products don't just consume materials and labor. More importantly, they don't all consume your resources in the same way. 2 products can look very similar but behave completely differently on the shop floor. For example, different machine time, different setup requirement, or different amount of trimming, finishing, or inspection. So your product costing needs to reflect that. A proper costing structure should consider bill of materials, routings, labor time, machine time, factory overheads, and product families. So once you understand what the product should cost, you can move on to the second area, that is production efficiencies. Now the question becomes, what actually happened from the moment the sales order received through to the moment that the finished products went out of the door? Did we pick up additional cost along the way? Did we have a machine breakdown? Did we have a scrap, rework, long setup time, waiting in between operations, material sitting on the bench because next process isn't ready yet? These are what I call the hidden cost of manufacturing. You don't necessarily receive an invoice for them, but they are real costs and your business pays for them. Individually, they may not look significant, but 10 minutes here, some scrap there, half an hour waiting for another operation. But add them up together across the multiple jobs, they are taking your margins away every single day. The third area is the production planning. You can have the right machines, you can have the right skilled people, and you can even have plenty of customer orders. But if your production planning is poor, you can still destroy the productivity and your margins. I see this particularly in make-to-order manufacturing businesses where production is heavily scheduled around customer delivery dates. Of course, you need to meet your delivery commitments, but if every order is treated independently, you can create unnecessary setup and changeover throughout the factory. And every time a machine stops so you can prepare for the next job, you are consuming valuable labor time and machine capacity without producing anything. That's why your scheduler or production planner has such an important role here. Where possible, look at grouping product families so similar products can run together and you reduce unnecessary setups, changeovers, and resource consumption. Improve the flow and you improve the profit and your margins. Think about your own factory now. Let's say one machine has 4 changeovers a day and each one takes 40 minutes. That's 160 minutes of machine capacity every day. That's more than 13 hours a week on a 5-day operation. Over 50 working weeks, that's roughly 667 hours of capacity a year on just one machine. Now put the financial value against those hours. That's why production planning isn't just an operation issue, it's also a financial issue. So 4th area is the pricing, and finally, let me give you a real example. I work with a plastic dip molding business and that they didn't have any proper product costing structure in place. They estimated their product cost of manufacturing based on the level of materials and labor, and they added percentage on top as well, and they came up with the sales price. So some of those sales were coming at a very low margin, and some were even potentially loss-making. This is why 4 areas of those areas work together. Once you understand your true product cost and you understand how efficiently you actually manufacture it, then you can price with much greater confidence so that you know the price you need. So you know what margin that price should generate. And most importantly, you understand how far you can negotiate before the job is no longer commercially worthwhile. So that gives you confidence when you are quoting, when you are entering into a new market, and when the customer tells you your price is too high, what can you do? Instead of guessing, you can make that decision based on the numbers. So if you want to improve manufacturing profit margins, don't just look at the sales prices. Look at those 4 areas underneath them: product costing, production efficiencies, production pricing, and pricing. Because ultimately, improving manufacturing profit is all about getting more financial return from the resources you've already invested in. I am Yesim, driving manufacturing profit. If you have a specific manufacturing profit or product costing problem, leave me a comment below and I'll answer as many questions I can. Or if you prefer to have a private conversation about your business and financials, let me know. I'll send you a link to book a call. Thank you.